It's Mazdamar with the patch notes review. I'm gonna go over the fundamental changes, the big balance changes like changes in text, and skip over those small changes in number that don't matter as much. They're just small base balance changes. Just go over the ones that are more big and change the fundamental item. Now, before I go into it, I just want to mention a lot of the changes in general continue on their no passive effect way of thinking. So they change the passive effect to an active effect, and for it to be activated, the now charges it instead of uses it. And a lot of the cards with charge now, their rarity scales up the amount that they're charged. So it starts off a lot weaker and ends off a lot better. So a lot of items are gonna have really important are gonna be really important to level up to diamond or as high as you can. It's also I did start a game. I've only played until the first monster fight, and then but I have to jump in to do this video first. I noticed the game looks a lot prettier. They changed the art. They also said that they fixed a little bit of a memory leak problem, so the game is more optimized and will use less. You have less strain on your computer. Although to do this, they had to make the animations way slower. Okay, it was kind of annoying a little bit. And also, people have reported that higher CPU temperatures on AMD X3D CPUs. So just be on the lookout for that. Into the gameplay changes. So level up structure revamped to consist largely of fixed options. What this means is now there's going to be a lot of fixed options when you level up. So at like a level 16, you get an enchantment. At level 11, you can upgrade an item. It was always like that. Now every level is going to be like that for the most part. And they're going to do this by get the skill trainers. They're now going to be in the level ups. So it's going to be way more consistent on the amount of skills you have in a run because they're going to be connected to those level ups. You're not going to find any of those other skill trainers other than Grandmaster, Nufu, and Zerfin Safari in the merchant pool. All the other ones are going to be in the level up system now, and the skills are going to be free. Only these ones are going to cost. Also, with these ones, Grandmaster, he's the one who gave you duplicate skills. Him and B1 and B2 both gave a high chance for duplicates. This one was for items. Now it's going to be a guarantee of duplicates. Apparently, that was actually what they were supposed to be, but they just didn't have the tech for it somehow. Now, Zerfin Safari, that skill merchant, I don't even know who that is, so I wish I could show a picture, but I can't. But now skills, so when you do find these people, their skills are going to cost a lot more. Now starting at 5 instead of 3, and then you got 40 gold for a diamond skill versus 24. Huge change, and especially with rerolls on monsters, now costing, depending on the rarity, so at bronze it's 2 and at diamond it's 8. Grandmaster is going to cost 8 gold to refresh, which is insane. Also, they added the rerolls back to the trainers that they previously took them away. So they're going to have them, but they're going to cost a lot more to reroll. Skill trainers are also now going to, instead of offering 4 skills, offer 3. Super lame. I remember every time I went to the silver skill dealer, they always gypped me with only offering 3 skills. Didn't like it. Always felt like a ripoff. And now everybody's gone to that style. Everybody took after her. Damn shame. Serafina is now going to allow multiple purchases. So when you buy from the enchanted dealer, don't be afraid to buy something because you can buy another item now. Start of the run, no large items, and Sterling, the silver seller, is now Sylvia, and she's not going to be on day 1 because apparently she is tired of people not buying her silver large items. So, alright. Sorry about that, Sylvia, but that also means that day 1, people are going to be a lot weaker. You're not going to see the silver items. From Sylvia. You're not going to see the large items from the first pick. And the level up structure more consistent. It's just going to be less luck based. It's going to be more consistent builds on day one. So yeah, like I said, less luck based, and the economy is gonna matter. It already matters a lot, but it's gonna matter a lot more with these price increases. Another thing, snack time reduced to 20 max HP per level instead of 25. This seems small, but it's actually pretty big once you get later on. It was a really good event that increased your health. Restored it and shielded enchantment. They changed that to where now it works with weapons to where it shields or heals equal to its damage, and it works better with other items as well. The thing is that when it's on a weapon and it's healing on a weapon equal to its damage, what's the difference now between that and lifesteal? I mean, there's the damn near the same thing, and then the shield one kind of the same. It would be different, but the healing one is just outright better than lifesteal because it can trigger off heal things and get increased healing. So I'm pretty sure they'll change that. Also, they said they were gonna add this in maybe the Q&A, I think. But Barkon, Midsworth, and Quixel, all those merchants now buy things from you because they want them more. Quixel's gonna buy large items for 3 more than they're worth. Midsworth is gonna buy medium items for 2 more than they're worth, and Barkrun small items for 1 more than they're worth. Pretty cool. New features. Hattie has arrived. Spin the wheel for a prize. No other info on this, but this sounds fun. I love some wheels. I ride wheels every day. Okay. Replay and recaps enabled. This is a huge change. They've been wanting to add this for a little bit. Now you can watch back your battle, get the stats, like how much damage was done, healing done by each card. Very cool. I can't wait to look at that. Some monster changes. We got the veteran octopus now has 8,888 health versus like 4,200. Very good. I mean, it's an octopus. It had 8 little cutlasses. It had an octopus with 8 multicast. How are you not going to have 888 health? Also, it was hella weak, so this should make it an actual challenge, hopefully. Another thing is the sparring partner. It got out of there. The warrior, if y'all remember, it was a gold tier monster that you could see on day 2, and it was hard to beat. Really hard to beat. Now they weakened its loadout, reduced HP, and it's down to silver tier, so you'll see it more. Also, the last monster change I'm going to mention is the Tensity Mare. He had a skill that's really strong, augmented weaponry. Whenever you sell a small item, increase your weapon's damage by 1 or by 2, depending on the rarity. Now you're only going to see him on day 5, so you're not going to be able to scale as high with him. But they probably made him harder, I believe. They didn't say that, though. Alright, now I'm going to go over the skill changes. Before I do that, I forgot to mention the heavy enchantment now no longer will increase the amount of items slowed. It'll increase the duration of the slow. But here we are on the skills. They made a lot of tiny tweaks and moved skills rarity when they showed up. Mostly to silver and some higher. But a lot to silver. So we're just going to go over the bigger ones. They got rid of the boring skills as well that buff small, medium, or large items, and some of the skills they deemed too situational. First skill, Fiery Rebirth. It's that skill that parry drops that's really rare, that brings you back to life and burns you for 30 and cleanses you. It no longer cleanses you or burns you for 30 anymore, so it's not gonna just completely counter like burn and poison builds. That's good. That other OP skill that Dooley had, Corrosive Toxins, well, everybody did. It reduced weapon damage. When you poison, now it reduces way less. It reduces, and it starts at gold versus silver, and reduces 2 to 4 versus moving up to 9 at diamond, like it did before. Heat Shield skill is back in the game. Whenever something's back in the game, it was removed because of a bug, so now it's back. That's good. They changed out Passive Aggressive. It's a skill on Mr. Moo for a skill called Shell Shock. It gives +1 damage for each ammo on your items in play. Sounds like a fun skill. And then for Mr. Moo with his items all having like 50 something ammo, they made him a lot harder. They went even further with taking out the passive effects to the charge ones on a lot of these skills. Shored up instead of it charges a shield item when you heal instead of healing when you heal. Void energy. Charge a shield item when you burn instead of giving your items +3 shield. Equivalent exchange went from poisoning on heal to charging poison items on heal. That sounds way better if you actually have a poison build. And my favorite, sick burn, amazing name, now charges a burn item when you poison. That sounds a lot more fun as well. All right, let's get into the Vanessa item changes. Okay, port now. It doesn't give max ammo, but its reload scales up for 1 each rarity like it used to. And now all items, just like this port now, will drop items of its rarity instead of a rarity below. Thank you. Life Preserver re-enabled. Really happy about that. Really cool early game item. Pufferfish is back. A pretty heavy nerf, but not unusable. Seems good. The boulder now starts at gold tier with 20-second cooldown, and at diamond, like it was, 16-second cooldown. This seems pretty cool. Now you're going to be able to find the boulders sooner. There are going to be more boulders in the game. They said that they spent about 3/4 of the something budget to make that animation. I'll show right here. So they're just going to keep buffing that thing until it's viable. I like it. The barrel starts at gold tier, so you're going to see that a little later. Oh, no, sorry. Starts at silver tier. So you're going to see that a little later. Sorry. The cannonade and the trebuchet. The cannonade went from dealing damage when a weapon is used to having a 6-second cooldown and being charged when a weapon is used. Now, that's expected because they changed the passive effects. But what does trebuchet do? Well, they just nerfed its cooldown to 10 seconds, and now its damage and burn doesn't scale. It charges its charge scales on the rarity level up. But now the cannonade and the trebuchet both charge off weapon use. The difference is the trebuchet charges off haste use as well, and it burns. I don't know. Seems a little like they're too similar, but maybe I'll feel the difference in game. I don't know. The catfish got nerfed 2 seconds. It used to be 3, now it's 5. And they also nerfed Crow's Nest and gives less crit. Instead of 25% each one, it gives 20%, so it maxes out at 80. Some cards: Tripwire, Electric Eels, Turtle Shell, Pearl, Lighthouse. All those got their effects from passive to now when that effect would trigger, it would instead charge the item to use that effect. Now, the double barrel, throwing knives, and ballista got damage buffs. Throwing knife got a big damage buff. They increased the cooldown back to what it was. And throwing knives and shark ray both got moved to starting at silver tier, which means the throwing knives are going to be a little later on, but just a little bit. And the shark went from gold to silver, so you're going to see that a lot earlier on, and hopefully that opens up some more shark builds. With all those ammo buffs and the port change, I think that ammo build is going to make a comeback. We'll see. Now, the biggest and best change here is to the dam. That's right. The dam now starts at gold tier, so you're going to see it sooner. It went from destroy this and destroy all small items and slow all medium items on the enemy side. Now it's way cooler. Destroy this and all smaller items. So anything on the board that's medium, when the dam goes off, is destroyed. And it gets charged off aquatic items. I can't wait to use this. I love destroying the enemy's whole board. It's just amazing. Just feels good. And then another thing, grappling hook buffed by 1 second. And then you got the amulet. Our crit amulet used to not give everything crit. They fixed that bug. So let's move on to the Pyg changes. These are the smallest changes out of the heroes. They didn't change him as much, but the changes they did do, pretty amazing. Luxury Tints and Beehive is back. So happy to see this. Both of these were really unique. And yeah, I love them. I didn't really even get to use Luxury Tints too often, but the Beehive, I used it once. It was amazing. Shipment was reverted back to dropping equal tier loot, but more importantly, it can now drop other hero loots. So happy about this because, yeah, I used to buy that shipment even when it was a misplay just because I wanted to see what was inside. I wanted to see if I could get something crazy for my build. And now when I see shipment, I'm just like, what a waste of money. But they brought it back to what it was, so really happy about that. Reynad mentioned how, the creator, before closed beta, Atlas Stone was a really strong meta item, and now he doesn't really see play with it, so they buffed its cooldown. Now it's at 6 seconds versus 8 seconds, so hopefully it sees more play. Another amazing pick change is the Giant Ice Club, okay? The Giant Ice Club. That's that thing that freezes something for 100 seconds when you get half health. Cooldown increased by 3 seconds to 12, right? The damage is now 1,000. It doesn't go from 500 to 1,000. But when you freeze at diamond, it charges 6 seconds from used to only being 3. That's huge, okay? Because that means when it's diamond, it's every time a thing gains freeze, any item, it charges half its cooldown. This is amazing. This is just amazing. I can't wait to use the Giant Ice Club and just that club. You know what I'm saying? Whew. Another change, the Matchbox. It's a 4-second cooldown now, and it burns and it's charged off non-weapons. I really love the Matchbox. I just love burn builds in general, and I feel like maybe this will open up a build to use it. We'll see. We'll see. Maybe it's a little bit weaker technically. I'm not sure. The marbles only slow small items now, so a lot weaker. They do more items, so it's stronger but weaker. They're gonna do this change a lot. He said he didn't like small items freezing large items, so they're gonna move to small items, you know, freezing, so I guess slowing other small items, and if they're bigger they can freeze the bigger items. And then the windmill, honestly, I saw a picture of this the other day. I never even seen this in game. It seems absolutely nuts. It went from when you use an item, charge another item, which is insane. They charge adjacent items 1 second. When you use another item, charge this. Windmill, I mean, I really hope I get it. I never seen that before. Okay. Now we're on to the Dooley changes. Going through these pretty quickly, I believe, hopefully. They nerfed all of his rays, except the damage one. The burn and poison ones only buff adjacent items now, not all. And the freeze ray now starts at gold tier and up. And max freezes at 2 seconds instead of 4. So huge nerf to the gold ray because now it's starting way later. And the freeze, it's worse. Another one freeze item, it's the coolant, the one that removes half your burn. That one's down, can only freeze small items too. So really hurt his freezing and really hurt those burn and poison builds. So next up, Arc Blaster is now back enabled. I got this in a chest and I was like, I've never seen this. I wonder if it's like super rare to get. No, it just wasn't in the game, and it seems like a really cool item too, because I love damage Dooley, and it's a damage item that gets charged off core use, so it sounds really fun. The Fuel Rod is back, should make burn better. It's when you burn haste, basically, kind of thing. Rocket Launcher, what the hell? This used to do double damage when the enemy had burn, and now it doesn't do double damage when the enemy has burn. I thought that was a cool item. I didn't even think it was that strong. Whatever. Cool LEDs now changed. Are now charged off core use, not used. So it's gonna slower. Yeah, it's gonna slower. But it's gonna get used more often to maybe charge the core more often. So not bad. Kim Snail now doesn't get charged off slow. Now it slows itself and poisons with no other effect. Now the Monitor Lizard is like a bomb now. I really like it how they turned it into. Now it has a big 8-second cooldown, but every time you haste, its poison goes up. So it scales off haste instead of shoots off haste. So now it'll get really big and hit you. So I really like that. I think that's a more fun design as well. Bomb Squad now gets charged off adjacent friend use. Now is a lot worse at the start, but its charge scales as it goes up, so it's actually going to get better as it goes up. That's a lot of items, but Bomb Squad was pretty big, so I brought it up. Micro Dave, one of my favorite cards. I mean, the art is just beautiful. It's like a microwave. The name is amazing, Micro Dave. Everything's amazing about the card. And they just made it more amazing when the rarity goes up. It's going to scale its charging instead of its burn. Really good, so it's going to go off way more. And finally, I'll talk about duct tape. That item, I mean, it was too good to begin with. It was a small item that did more than model ship. Model ship, when adjacent item was used, it shielded. This thing was, when adjacent item is used, shield. And then it also was slowing items. Like, so strong. Now it just charges off adjacent item use instead of shields. So a lot weaker, but still might see some use. I don't know. And that's it. I mean, oh wait, hold up. I forgot to go over the general item changes. Okay, here we go. Here, I didn't write anything, but I remember the big one. Snowflake is back, giving +1 freeze duration. That's a diamond little monster loot item. Absolutely crazy to get. They changed butter from haste one item. Now it hastes an item and gets multicast for adjacent food. Before it just hasted adjacent food or tools. Another one is the sharpening stone got buffed. It's going to start at silver now, just like the other monster loots, but except for making it scrap. But its damage goes way higher, so a diamond sharpening stone is 20 damage instead of 12. Extract going to start at silver now, so instead of bronze starting at 1, now it starts at 1 at silver. But it scales up more aggressively to 4 at diamond. So same amount at diamond. Same with the cinder or the burn one. Medkit and scrap now buffed as well, as you can see here. And they just did some small balance changes to some of these items. The Lich's Necronium got changed pretty big. Instead of poisoning gain 3 gen when someone uses an item, it poisons the regions and it gets charged off any non-weapon use. So kind of the same, but different. Another one, the Black Rose, instead of getting charged when you poison, now when you poison it gains heal. Okay. Seems I like that better. What else do we have here? The Fossilized Femur. Now this is amazing. Okay. Now instead of scaling the damage, it just does 300 damage. When you slow, charge this, and it gains damage. So instead of just charging it 1 to 2 seconds like it was before, now it can charge up to 3 seconds, okay, and it gains damage when you slow. That makes this way better. I can't wait to use it. It just looks so nice. A nice ass femur. You know, when you see a femur, you just want to use it. And now you can't. Okay, now it's good enough to use, I believe. Proboscis, you know, another passive effect. Oven Mitts, another passive effect that went to charge. Another big one, the Gatling gun. This is just a damage increase, but the damage increase is so damn big. You know, that monster. I can't even remember what monster it is, but the one that has that Gatling gun, it's going to be a lot harder if it starts at 100, because those things are down. And yeah, that they nerfed the runic great axe. I literally thought this item was one of the weakest large items I've ever seen. They nerfed it. It's only a monster item, so maybe just to balance the monster. I don't know. And then runic double bow, less damage, but now comes with crit. Yeah. And now we're at the end of the video. Thanks for watching. Yeah, I hope. Make sure to like, make sure to subscribe, turn those notifications on, comment your most hated, your most liked change. I don't know what your prediction is for who's gonna be the strongest, and who you're most excited to play, or whatever you want. Thanks for watching. See you next time in the Bazaar.